Welcome to Buick's newest addition to their trim lineup. This is the Sport Touring, focused on attracting a younger and more sporty crowd. The Sport Touring goes away from Buick's traditional chromed out look and blacks out the wheels. You guys saw there was a black mesh grille, and as around the windows, it is all blacked out with those black mirror caps. The nice thing about Buick is they do not make a base level vehicle, so there are still a ton of very comfort focused features, as well as being focused on cutting out all the road noise as possible. So jumping in the back, you will see this nice privacy shade that not only holds everything kind of in that trunk storage area, so if you are in any sort of accident, it's not going to come flying up front and hitting you, as well as really cuts down on any sort of road noise that's coming off of those rear wheels, because that's where you'll notice a lot of it does come from in these smaller, shorter wheelbase SUVs. The other thing that really helps, you'll notice Buick does carpet their cargo interior, and then down around their spare tire, they have a nice plastic tray, and if I were to lift that up, a lot more insulation underneath there as well. That is one of the many reasons why the Envision is the quietest vehicle in its size category. I will argue that the only thing quieter in this size, you'd have to jump to an electric vehicle, as most of the information you're hearing in this one is going to be engine noise and maybe a little bit of road noise, but that would be equivalent to your EV markets. Being the Sport Touring, you do get a nice kind of felt embossed pattern inside with a more geometric pattern around the door frames. This is one of the two interiors you can get in the Sport Touring. It is this black with that white stitching around the outside, or a very dark, I would call red. Now, one of the few things that is not standard on the Envision is a sunroof, and you can see it does have a very large panoramic sunroof with an electronic shade. And before I jump to the front, I'll take a quick peek at the window sticker. As you will notice, that besides the panoramic roof, the only addition on this is that comfort and convenience package, which the big things are adding, like dual climate control, and I'll pause there for you to read through, and then Moonstone, and then the splash card. So everything else is a standard feature for the Envision, including side blind zone. And if you're well aware, there's a camera in the front mirror that runs all your lane keep assist, your adaptive cruise, things like that. What sets apart the Sport Touring exterior wise from, say, the Preferred or the Avenir? Well, you will see it is a gloss black runner along the bottom as well, besides all that other black detailing I was mentioning before. Looking right behind it, here's an Avenir, so you can kind of see if you want body color all the way down, you got to jump to that trim level, as well as that you start bringing in those chrome detailing back in. The other thing, but I'll point out on the grille before we jump inside, is much like our GMC and our Ultimates, you do get some of that Vader chrome around the outside. So it is not a bright shiny chrome, but it's not just a gloss black either. So it really brings out that really premium look to it. Jumping inside to the driver's seat, you're still getting a powered driver's seat with lumbar control. The only way to get a powered passenger seat is jumping up to the Avenir. So that is one thing that neither our Preferred or our Sport Touring will have. However, you will see memory seats, plenty of powered windows with both driver and passenger being automatic up. Bose speakers, power liftgate, lots of nice features there. And then something unique to the Sport Touring is going to be this bronze accent throughout, where your Avenir is going to be a gold and your Preferred is going to be a more silver kind of chrome. Nice thing is these are an all-wheel drive vehicle, but you don't have to leave them in all-wheel drive all the time, burning through tires and gas. They do have this mode control that will allow you to switch that between front-wheel drive and just the push of a button and all-wheel drive. So if it starts to rain, sleet, snow, anything that wonderful weather here in North Dakota throws at us, you can switch in between, whether you want better fuel economy or better comfort in poor weather conditions. Looking at the steering wheel, all of your cruise control information, as well as that manual mode to access the paddle shifters, are on the left hand of the steering wheel. Right hand is going to be your heated steering wheel and all of that infotainment information. Now you will notice that it is a very large, fully touchscreen display. Might remind you of Cadillac's interiors, especially if you're familiar with their EV lineup. The other thing that's nice in all of their trim levels, let me say again, Buick does not make a base trim level here, are going to come with a huge Google built-in display. So Google Maps will be running right off of your vehicle, as well as they run a HD camera. So you do have that surround vision, and it is HD, so you can actually see the difference. It's not just a blurry camera that you can make sure that you're not hitting anything. You can actually see the lines. You can get very detailed with this. The other really nice thing I like is where everyone else seems to be going to all touchscreen and digital based, Buick does keep physical controls for your climate control. So once again, us here in North Dakota, when you jump in the car in January and you're wearing gloves, a touchscreen isn't going to work the best. Granted, you do have that ability to tap right on the temperature. Oh, I'm in the camera, backup camera right now. So if I tap on the temperature, I can change that, as well as here's how I could turn on those heated seats. If you want ventilated, you got to jump up to Avenir. But you do have the physical buttons down below that will adjust that as well. Also, since I'm in demo mode, it's not going to work for me, but there is Google Assistant in this, so you can actually ask Google to change the temperature for you, as well as plenty other features. Jumping down underneath the storage tray is where you have your wireless adapter. This is in all trim levels of Envisions. You also notice your volume knob, kind of reminiscent of Cadillac's rotary controller, but they're the only one who get that. Buick just keeps kind of the same styling. And then your cup holders. The other kind of neat thing is if there are passengers in here and one's using it as an armrest, that gull-wing door makes it so they do not have to move their arm, and you still have access to that center console. And then with it being Google Display right here, this fancy button, I can throw the Google Maps up right in front of me. I can do different information for driving in front of, driver information, so whether there's how far we're following somebody, if I'm in the lanes, things like that. And if you have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connected, you would get a fourth screen that would be like your Google Maps or Apple Maps, depending on what you want to use. But there's kind of a quick overview to the Sport Touring. Really the big difference is what interior you like. Of that styling. Do you like gold, bronze, or silver? Do you like chrome exterior? Do you need a power passenger seat? Do you need ventilated front seats? Other than that, you have everything at your disposal in the Buick brand. Oh, and one last thing. The Sport has a flat bottom steering wheel, so it gives you that nice little sporty nod to other performance cars in the GM lineup. If you have any other questions about this or any of our other Buicks or GMCs, I'm happy to help. My name is Marshall Becker. Feel free to give me a call.